Yo, still Bills, what's the deal, man? I'm back, man. I ain't done talking about this shit, man, because, just, not the more that I think about it, even though it's a little bit impossible to get me a little bit more agitated than what I already am, as far as the conversation is concerned, man. But, yeah, I don't think that's right how he's trying to paint this picture and this narrative of this youngin', because he's not singing the praises of people that you think he should be singing the praises of. They did that with Chris Colbert. Now, granted, I don't even, he met his match and he got punished. But they tried to vilify him because he just, as well as a lot of other people, refused to believe that Deontay Wilder was cheated. Like, he told you, he can't fuck with Tyson Fury. He can't fuck with that nigga. Y'all came up with all these lies about him getting his water spiked and everything. All right, cool. Then he went in there, he got crashed, and now y'all look like fools. Now y'all gotta eat the words. Y'all gotta eat all the shit that y'all was trying to say leading up into the fight, in that year before the fight even went down. But the minute he lost, they couldn't wait for him to lose so they can get on there and just really praise the fact that this young black man got beat because he refused to sit down or bow at the feet of a Deontay Wilder and subscribe to the narratives that he was trying to push as it pertains to Tyson Fury. That's the path that we're somewhat going down right now, as far as Shakur Stevenson is concerned, because he's just a fan of Ben Rodriguez. Ben Rodriguez is an incredible fighter. There's certain things that Shakur doesn't do that Ben Rodriguez does. What's wrong with that? Shakur Stevenson isn't stepping around his opponents like that. He's maintaining distance. Why can't you be admirable of that? Like, come on, man. I'm not, whatever it is that I can do to ensure that this his rep doesn't get besmirched behind disgruntled black nationalists. I don't want that. I don't want that. And there's definitely a thing of where certain things just need to be said behind closed doors. You understand what I'm saying? So we don't air out our grievances that we may have, with each other, to the world. I just think that shit is corny how you did that shit, my nigga. Like I said before, I'm in 100% agreement with you as it pertains to Paulie Malignaggi. Because he's, after I made a video about it, after that little George Floyd, spew that he went on, just really trying to place onus trying to place the onus of George Floyd's death at his own feet. Like, nah, you dig? He really undermined the relationship between black and blue. He really did that. Oh, it's not because you're black. He's just really a bad person. He was just really under the influence. No. The thing is, with police officers, we're looking at you motherfuckers to be the pinnacle of restraint, of being able to de-escalate a situation, and just morale. We're looking at y'all to do that. Why? Because our tax dollars go into your pockets to ensure our safety. And when you don't do that, that's a breach of contract, so we beefing about it. You know what I'm saying? And he just was real insensitive as it pertains to George Floyd. So I was already done with him with that. Before that, when he started talking that black American shit, the black American fighter is dead. Nah, I was cool after that. I was cool. But that really did it for me, man. So I'm in, I'm definitely in, I stand 10 toes down with him on his feelings towards Shakur Stevenson going on Paulie Malignaggi's podcast. I think people who make all these white folks who make all these disparaging remarks, all these Latinos, because they not off the hook neither. Anybody who has any sort of disparaging remarks as it pertains to black fighters from the diaspora, I don't give a fuck if they from Puerto Rico, if they from Trinidad, if they from Jamaica, if they from the Dominican Republic, if they from Cuba, they Brits, Africa. You got something negative to say about black fighters, or black people in general, I don't think that we should, patronize your platform, because that brings viewership to your platform and that brings money to your platform. So no, I don't think he should have sat down with the likes of a Paulie Malignaggi. I definitely think he should have told Paulie Malignaggi, you can eat a dick, my nigga, like for real. Fuck you and your podcast. That's another thing. Dante, he tried to speak on, DJ Vlad wanted to interview with Earl Spence. I fuck with Earl Spence for that. I salute that, because I can't stand DJ Vlad. I can't stand Vlad. And I used to go to his channel faithfully, and it took somebody pointing shit out to me. Why is he always, kind of fishing for the niggerdom in someone's background as opposed to what it is that they got going on, whether it's music, whether it's activism, or whatever. I think he started, once people started talking that shit about him, then you started to see the Tariq Nasheeds on there, and the Umar Johnsons and the Wesley Muhammads and the Rizza Islams pop up on his on his platform. But this is the same dude who released footage of Joe Budden's homeboy getting smacked by one of Ransom's peoples. And Joe Budden checked him on that. Nigga, like, yo, why the fuck would you release that? Because if somebody die off of this shit, you at the helm of that shit. Because you want to bring traffic to your platform. It's funny to you, it's amusing to you. But when Tone Trump pressed you, you was talking about, I'm not a street dude, I'm getting my lawyers involved. You bitch ass nigga. You don't have a problem with, with patronizing nigga shit, as long as it doesn't come to your doorstep. But the minute that the same stories you just die to hear about, you ain't going to nobody's hood. You're gonna bring them into a safe environment so they can talk about all the chaotic and all the chaos they've been causing in their own communities. But when they give you that energy, you don't want I'm getting my lawyers involved. I'm a white guy in America. You fucking nah. So I'm glad that Earl was like, no, I'm not going on shit. I don't need fans that bad. Shout out to Earl Spence for that. But everybody isn't of that mindset. Everybody isn't of that mindset. And I don't think you have to be super drag out RBG with it as well. I honestly don't. It is some morals and principles that you can stand on. Because that's one thing about us. You're gonna try and look for the good in that man and that individual. No matter how demonstrative his ideologies are. There's people who they just couldn't wait to get Joe Rogan on their podcast so they can defend. I mean, it's hard to disassociate to somebody that you have a rapport with. That's a hard thing to do. Like, I can't fuck with you. That's a hard thing to do, because I've had to be that dude before. It's hard to do because you don't want to dislike somebody. You want to be welcoming and inviting to somebody, but sometimes you gotta learn when to draw that line in the sand. And I think with motherfuckers like Paulie Malignaggi, we need to learn to draw that line in the sand. So I stand with him on that. But when you talking about, having, harboring ill will with him, being a fan of Bam Rodriguez, and you're looking for any way, shape, or form to make it seem as if this man is seeking white validation or Latin validation, hold on. And hold on real quick. Yeah, my fault, man. But yeah, man, when he said, oh man, you just trying to get those, keep this Mexican, you want to do what it is you got to do to ensure that the Mexicans support you or whatever. He made some sort of remark as it pertains to that. And this is why it's so disingenuous, man, because Floyd Mayweather's entire career is predicated on Mexicans. It was Mexicans behind his fight. It was Mexicans. And who did he fight? Mexicans. They want to see me lose so bad, and they're so high strung on the fact that they produce some of the greatest fighters that they want to be able to see their fighter dethrone me live. So I'm going to tap into that. And he did that. And we didn't hold him accountable for that. And this is economics and business, man. You want everybody's dollar. You want everybody to be a supporter of you. Like, that just doesn't, like, how do you... This is what I mean by we get, consciousness gets laughed at. They laugh at niggas when they talk, or when they get to talk, when they step into when they step into knowledge of self, it's laughed at. It's met with criticism because of how irrational people think when it's time to get into this type of mind state. Why wouldn't he want to secure a Mexican fan base? Why wouldn't you want more money? You got Aki TV under your wing. Dude's an Arab. But he's wrong for wanting to secure a Mexican fan base to ensure that that's more money going in his pocket. If y'all can keep showing up to fights, y'all can increase my viewership, and eventually I could possibly be a pay-per-view attraction. That seems like a smart thing to do to me. And it's not from him wanting to, him wanting to kiss the asses of Mexicans. No. They're the biggest boxing consumer in this country. How do we know that? Canelo Alvarez is living proof of that. Canelo Alvarez is the marquee attraction on Earth, him and Anthony Joshua. But Joshua's on the whole other side of the world. On this side of the world, Canelo's, he's top dog. And Mexicans are paying for those fights by and large. So why wouldn't you want to secure the Mexican fan base? It's not making sense, man. This is what I mean by conflating issues. This is what happens when you conflate issues and they're not necessarily thought out. You're operating off emotion. You can feel some type of way about him saying that he thinks Tyson Fury is better than Ali. I get that. You can feel some type of way about that. But it's just like you really have a problem with him saluting an incredible Mexican boxer. He said, "Oh man, you ain't supposed to look up to him. He's supposed to look up to you." You're like, bro. Ali looked up to Sugar Ray Robinson. Robinson didn't look up to Ali. Sugar Ray Leonard looked up to Ali. Like, bro, I mean, you do realize them at their peaks were two different, they wasn't fighting for pound rankings simultaneously with one another. Ray Leonard ain't come into prominence until the 80s primarily. Well, no, the late 70s. Ali was on a decline at that time. What the fuck are you talking about? Bro, Sugar Ray Robinson what year did that man retire? The 60s or so? He started focusing on business ventures and his dancing career. Ali came into prominence around that time in the 60s. What are you talking about, bro? Like, come on, my nigga. Like, y'all gotta be a lot more logical with the shit that y'all push. And they just, we shoot our own self in the foot, my nigga. We shoot our own self in the foot. Hold on, let me get my son's grub. Be right back. But, oh, fuck, what was I for saying? I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, I had a point and I lost it, man. Fuck. But just all in all, man, it's just not a good look, man. How y'all, all of y'all are trying to vilify these dudes. It's just not the move. I don't like that. I don't like that. You gotta down Shakur Stevenson. You gotta down Shakur Stevenson because he's a fan of Bam Rodriguez. He's supposed to look up to you. You ain't supposed to look up to him. Like, come on, man. That's that. I'm older than you, so I'm automatically, I know more than you. I'm older than you, so I'm better than you. Can't no young nigga outdo me in nothing. That's a real toxic mentality to have. There's nothing wrong with him being a fan of that man as a fighter. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. You dig? So the shit is just laughable. It's truth under deceit. No, it's truth. My fault. That's not even the case, man. It's truth. It's a surface level of truth. But when you start sifting through that shit, you start to see, y'all niggas is really kicking some bullshit right now. This ain't the move, King. That ain't the move, man. Let me say something. He's a fan of a great fighter. That's just all that there is to it, man. So I don't want y'all to sit here and vilify this dude and turn him into public enemy number one because he's not singing the praises of who y'all think he should sing the praises of. Bam Rodriguez is going to be pound for pound one day. He's going to be on that pound for pound list one day with that skill set. That dude is incredible. That does not make him against his people because he's a fan of him. So man, y'all kill that bullshit, man. It's sickening. Do not paint. Don't dare turn him into public enemy #1. Don't do that. Like how y'all tried to do with Chris Colbert. As soon as that man got stopped, here y'all come with, oh man, you cooning. Couldn't wait for that man to lose, and when he lost, y'all rubbed it in his face, and we ain't heard shit from him since. Oh, here go my son's grub. Thank you very much. You have yourself a lovely day.
You too. Have a nice night.
You have a better one. So, yeah. I'm definitely gonna speak on that whenever y'all do that sucker shit, because that's definitely, indeed, some sucker shit to me. Some buster shit. Definitely some buster shit that can't be condoned. So, shout out to Shakur Stevenson. I'm not mad at none of the shit that you said. I'm not. I agree with a lot of it. I agree with a lot of it. Maybe not, definitely not with Tyson, but I agree with a lot of the shit that you said. I do. I understand it. You're a fan of somebody, when you're a fan of your favorable somebody, that's just how you're gonna get it down, so I'm not mad at it. But stop that fucking bullshit. Do not dare turn that dude into no public enemy because y'all have a problem with who it is that he's favorable of, as far as who it is that he likes to see fight. Y'all got me fucked up. I'm not gonna let y'all turn that little nigga into Chris Colbert. Fuck out of here, man. So that's pretty much all I got to say about it, man. I'm out here, bro. Doses.